Hello and welcome back to Civ 7. We are into the modern age. Welcome to the modern age. We have just finished up a generally pretty good exploration age. We've taken a couple of islands nearby. We've really secured our place on the continent right now. We've completed our Great Wall, locked down sort of the main territory we want. And most of the stuff that I want right now is going to be, any additional settlements are going to be probably settlements off the continent. So we are building our legacy this morning. We're going to go for science, try to science can into space for the Space Rage project. We haven't really done anything here. We basically are right at the top of the turn. We took a little bit of a look around to see what kind of stuff we had, but it wasn't very much. We have gooses in some of our towns. We have army commanders with 4 gooses. We have army commanders with 3 cannons and a goosa. We're going to have to probably rearrange that. A field cannon here as well. I got to know, are the field cannons ranged units? Okay, they're not siege units. So ranged units here, 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 here. Gooses down here. Huayang has nothing in it. Neither does Chalkis. That being said, I should also have a guy here with a couple of field cannons and gooses. So the armies are in like pretty good shape. Most of our settlements have defenses, and we have 3 pretty well stocked armies. I'm going to divvy it up a little bit so that this guy isn't just, you know, all gooses all the time, but we had to choose our legacies. Actually, I thought that we did this at the beginning. The end of the last stream, I thought we did this, but we'll repick them. We're going to change Athens to our capital city, and we're going to rename it Beijing. And we're going to take a second science attribute point. I think maybe it just didn't save the little bits that we did. So we have a lot to be done. A grocer is recommended by everybody here. +1 food on camps, farms, fishing boats, pastures, plantations, and uncultivated rural tiles. I don't see why not. I've been reading a little bit about like the importance of overbuilding and why it's considered so good. And it has a lot to do with the fact that you don't apply adjacencies on old buildings. Now, this is an ageless building I am also getting here, so I am a little curious on how much that matters. Hi, Mona. Good morning. Part of me feels like it's still always just better to plop these down somewhere else, right? Oil heals Navy and cavalry units, gains +1 combat strength and an additional +1 against infantry units. With the new age comes new resources. In the modern age, factory resources are critical to your economy and the railroad tycoon legacy path. To slot a factory resource into a settlement, it must have a rail connection and a factory. Only one type of factory resource can be slotted into a settlement at any time. So things like our coffee, our cocoa, our tea. So these are no longer treasury resources, but now they are like foreign resources. Interesting. So I guess Kaolin might have also been a foreign resource. Silk might have also been originally. Let's see. Beijing is still our best culture town, culture city. All of our places have become towns, of course. So we're going to stack all of our wonderful silk here, which I'm assuming is still doing +6 culture in the capital. Oh, that's even better. I'm really glad we took that. Hi, Mona. You want to say hi, everybody? Welcome. Imagine a 30-pound dog on your roof barking as you walk from the driveway to your house. I love that. His name was Admiral. Great name for a dog. Your dog thought it was a cat, a Jack Russell, getting on the smaller size. 30-pound dog on the roof. 30-kilogram dog on the roof is very funny. Look at this little fluff. Hey, Momo. What a baby. What a little baby. Tobacco. +6 production in a city with a rail station. +3 production to any other city. And then pearls give happiness in the capital, happiness in any other city. I'll tell you what, I'm going to put the pearls in Beijing as well. Why not? And then in... Oh, none of our other towns. None of our other cities. Even our original place doesn't count. I don't know why Serta has 3 slots. Maybe that's because we conquered it. Maybe it's a special building in there that somebody else built. Happiness in production. Happiness, happiness, happiness. Oh yeah, Chang'an is still a city. So I'm going to put the railroad tobacco in here. And obviously we don't have any factories yet, so. We got low happiness in Wasat. We got a ton of money. So, like, this is going to be a city. For sure. Happiness here is -5. Let's build a park. +6 happiness for each adjacent mountain, natural wonder, regular wonder. This is looking like it's not giving me happiness anywhere. Okay, maybe I won't build a park. The limitations in the old early game. Let's just slot this guy into here. We have a bit of science ahead of us. Academics will get us the early science, probably what we want. I don't know that we're going to need a lot of forts and military, he says. We'll give it a shot. +2 science from specialists, but +50 specialist food maintenance. That's not bad. We have a lot of food. Culture. Explorers can research artifacts buried. Let's go for that social science. We do have all of our wonderful little policies here. Let's grab 2 science and settlements with the garrison unit, 1 science from specialists. And I kind of want to say influence on science buildings. But maybe let's go Grand Secretariat. Got like 25 science additional out of that right now. Our first expansionist point. 25 production towards training settlers. 1 free war support on all wars from militaristic. That would be wonderful. +1 adjacencies of standard gold production in science buildings. Sounds like... I'm not allowed to unlock that? What about +1 science on every quarter? I wonder what I need to get this legendary unlock. +1 science per age in towns. Or +2 in distant lands. That's like +3 science for everybody. I guess it's okay. All of our towns are distant land towns, so maybe that's not a terrible choice. Grist mills and grocers. Let's plop this guy in here. keep trying to figure out where everything wants to live. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably get rid of 2 Gusa. And then give him a field cannon out of both these armies. And then we end up with 3 fully stacked armies. Which feels pretty good to me. You can just skip the turn for right now. Y'all are snoozing. Y'all are snoozing. Y'all are snoozing. All our opening cannons get to snooze. I have a 4th army commander down here. 6, 13, 5, 0. Okay, so this army commander doesn't really get to have an army. We do have a couple of places we need to settle. White Oak, I guess, in Barcelona also don't have anybody guarding them. We do have our fleet. So I would love if we could maybe spend some time discovering the New World. Which we've yet to really do properly, so 5% total science seems huge. Yeah, I mean, we just went from 205 to 261 off of those buffs. Mount Kilimanjaro, Uluru. I guess we have 2 natural wonders, which is kind of nice. Ooh. I always forget we get special civics as well. 1 combat strength for all units for every civilization and city rate you have a trade route with. 25% growth rate in towns with a resource assigned to them. Trade income, gold, base yield of science with +1 happiness for constructibles and wonders. That's pretty good. +2 food from resources assigned to cities. +2 happiness from resources assigned to cities. Also very good. Banner army, +3 combat strength against land units. Culture for every civ which you have a trade route ageless must be placed adjacent to a mountain. I think I'd like to get this science from specialists, but reduced food maintenance. That's probably where we should start. And then I guess the other real question is, like, what do we need? We need flight, aerodrome, the transoceanic flight project, break the sound barrier, rocketry, launch pad, satellite. Okay, so this just seems like probably I just need a ton of science. Flight, aerodynamics, rocketry. Yep. So we just got to be big science lads. A bunch of little mini civilizations just popped up all along our border. 510 to befriend them. So obviously Bogota here with the science would be probably our best option. It's kind of cool that these all formed in the remaining locations. All sorts of new resources. I don't think there was gold or Kowlin here before. Lots of coffee and stuff around as well. A new government. Authoritarianism. Combat. Elective republic. Plus 20% culture for 10 turns. 30% relationship change from endeavors and sanctions. Bureaucratic monarchy. I think we're going to go elective republic so that we can go for the pure science here. That sort of feels like the right plan still. In the meantime, you're going to grab, I guess, this last guy here as well. And you're going to do deliveries to a couple locations. So this is a fine army. He's our logistics-based guy. This is our attack guy. This is our defensive guy. So I think probably I actually want to leave this guy in Madrid so that I can defend these couple of choke points to the south. So I tell you what, we're gonna get rid of you. Just do a little swip swap here. Then they can go down that way. You can gobble up that cannon next turn. You're currently 4 cannons in my offensive army, so obviously that's going to have to change. Gusa, you're meant to actually be in Wasset. Does anyone know if it's possible to still build one massive city that lasts through time? You probably could. There are a couple of bonuses that I've seen that say things like if you have less than 3 cities, you get this bonus, that bonus, or this bonus. So I imagine there has to be a little bit of that going on. Skip your turn. Now, this is going to be a problem if all my enemies have just built a wall of stuff. Oh, I guess this is Lafayette here, who we could reform our alliance with. I'm going to drop him a research collab as well. He accepts giving me plus 12 science. That's all the influence I really want to be using for right now. The hand of allyship is one of the most intimate touches one can offer. It requires an honest accounting of both the best and the worst. Plus 1 influence in all settlements or plus 75 influence. I'll take the influence in all settlements. That seems like it's going to pay out much more dividends in the very short run. The goal of the game, world domination, or to be the first in world power after so many ages? I think it's to complete... Yeah, it's to complete a victory path before anyone else in the final age. Capture an ideological enemy's settlement. So military is like about ideology points. Economics is about railroad tycoons and manufacturing. Weirdly enough, it kind of feels like we could go for that. Science is just straight about science for once. And then culture is about digging up artifacts from previous ages, which probably is based on the artifacts that you make in the first age. So you live there now. And Huayang is the other place we got to go to. So you're a city. You are a city. You are a city. Handan should also probably be a city. I say as I'm still lacking some basic urban structures here. Eight turns to build a sawmill, or I could just purchase it. For practically free. Well, I don't want to place there because that's a river tile. But, you know what? I might have to. I think that's like the only place we could build a sawmill. What if I build a saw pit first? You are a garden. You are a stone cutter. Let's, I guess, add that in there. I'm sitting here thinking like, oh, I have a ton of money off the top. I mean, I guess I could add it in there. Why not? All that stuff is very cheap for us to get going. Happiness in the city is pretty easy to make. Why don't we build over the monument? Actually, let's build over the amphitheater here because we'll probably get the best like growth out of that. And unfortunately, nothing's going into that city, so. One city challenge has been a thing for ages, and I think it's been completed in every civ, so I assume it's possible. Yeah. If this has a one city limit mechanic, it would suggest to be easier. Other civs, the more civs, the better generally. Yeah, so like I know there's certain like dark age mechanics. So if you don't get any military points in the first age, it will actually destroy the military dark age in the age of exploration will destroy all of your settlements except for your capital, but it will spawn you a whole ton of horse armies. So it's really good if you want to do like a Mongol based invasion. So there are certainly options. I think you would be punished a lot in this game for doing the more traditional, like only one city challenge, but it's a bit hard to say. These guys need to go here. These guys need to go here. Here and probably there. So this field cannon is joining this army. These guys are moving up this way. I would like to try to do some peace. You know what? Particularly with you, I'd really like to maybe... Oh, this is where this ability comes from. Plains and deserts, they get +5 combat strength. I keep saying I'm not going to spend my influence, but at the same time, I'm looking to not be in wars in this age, if we can avoid it. Hostile to unfriendly. It's only Isabella who hates us now. We are leading in science. Ashoka kind of liked us in the last phase. So I wonder about maybe they have the best science right now, so a research collab with them could be really good. We're going to be just greedy on some diplomacy. This town is growing. But, I mean, 3 happiness, 4 production. That's a pretty solid deal right here. You're supposed to be a growing town. You have traditionally been a mining town. And I think that that's probably still the case for you. Grist mills, sawmills, grocers. If I build you a grocer, I could probably put No, I can't actually. Oh, wow. All right, I'm going to give him a sawmill then here. Build over the temple. Do a little bit of that overbuilding. This guy was coming down here. I actually need to take one of these field cannons out. Move it in here. And then I think I'm going to do... This is my aggressive army, so I think I'm going to give him all the infantry here. Feels like that makes the most sense to me. And then we get some like clean shots with everybody else. Yeah. Yeah, you see? Yeah. You are probably fine right here. I think I'm just going to build up a little fortification and let you be chill. I have an alliance with Lafayette. This might actually be the continent. It probably is. And these are just the little islands in between towns. That, I guess, is Ashoka's territory. Chalkis gets to grow a little bit. Picking this will give you an expedition base. Ooh. I can claim mountains now. Also, somehow this town got Uluru. Did my borders change? Do we always have Uluru here? This town traditionally before, I believe, was a hub town. And I think that's probably still a good choice for it. Sawmill, saw pits, stone cutters, grocers. Of course, I just like don't have room for anything reasonable in these cities. You're gonna blarf. And then pick up that. You're gonna grab that. You're gonna also pick up him if that's the case. So we just pause you there for a second. These guys can fortify. These guys can fortify. Here, I just have to make sure not to stand next to a volcano. And I guess actually I should probably put him there. Then we have the best options moving forward. The best defenses. Okay. 4 to 5 generally my max. I mean, it was always punishing, and that's why it's called a challenge. These bloody rivers. Oh, hello? I don't know if a key got stuck there or what. I mean, I think the thing is like the way that this new Civ works between the differences between towns and cities makes a pretty big change. So it doesn't really feel like you're punished so much for having extra towns, nor do you really need to do that much with them a lot of the time. Schlorp. You are officially schlorped. I mean, this is my most central location. We have an army here. We have an army here. This is just kind of a standing army right now. I guess they don't really know what to do. Maybe parking them in Handan is the best choice. Active volcanoes. Zaragoza has become the Spanish capital, which is funny. They also stole these whales from me. You have so many army commanders. I love how Spain is not producing units, but they are producing army commanders. And I guess also I wonder, are these army commanders full of units because it's a new age?
So that we may fear less.
Schoolhouses, bonuses for adjacent resources, and wonder modern science buildings. Elitism over education. Harried parents with screaming children cling to the legs, beseech Confucius. Everyone deserves the gift of a sharp mind, not only the elite and the enlightened. A reasonable argument, but resources are scarce. +9 science in schoolhouses in just Beijing or in all settlements. We're going to democratize. We're going to put it everywhere. Lafayette wants a cultural exchange. I'll just accept this. Having a ruler constantly threaten to go nuclear was a bit too real. I mean, there's no saying that that's not going to still happen. That's schoolhouses. Okay, so I guess electricity makes a very obvious choice here as we power on the science path. Field cannon fortify. Army commander move. Boop, 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 boop. You can really just fortify here. And we're fine. Ashoka's become friendly. Not enough to form an alliance, but it's getting better. You guys are just going to sleep. Mac, hello. Good morning.
The memory of having sat at someone's feet will later make you want to trample him underfoot.
Settlement gains a pop every time you enter a celebration. Wow, that's pretty good. I tell you what, let's cut out the golden science for just the plus to science. We're at 270. That brings us 281. New ideas emerge on the nature of society. The people question the old ways with fresh eyes, but Confucius insists that the lessons of the past must be remembered. Have 3 artifacts. The town of White Oak has grown. I think if I go here, I'll get these fish, which is great. Another factory resource. Dijonette also grows. I guess if I go here, I claim this river, which would be good to just grab the last little bits of things. So obviously my favorite thing is going up these trees whenever we can. Food production towards land use. I just don't feel like, honestly, that they benefit us as much as the other stuff does right now. Natural history allows us to get explorers and extract artifacts. Well, we just got a quest to get 3 artifacts, so that feels like a good, smart choice. We can get 20% culture for 10 turns. Elective Republic. Celebration. Man, we can also then just throw back in the Grand Secretariat. 339. White Oak gets a specialty. Factory town, mining town, fishing town. I mean, there's not really a lot going on here. There's not a lot of land for them to grow on. There's literally only this cocoa resource, and then I guess technically that rough tropical. I might be able to build something like a dock and then a wharf and connect that urban. Factory town could work. 100% gold towards purchasing a factory in this town, plus 1 resource slot. I mean, that's really the only thing else this town could be. Hub town, maybe, but I don't know that connected counts. For right now, we're just going to keep it as a growing town. There is no fishing town. I have a temple in there at the moment. Part of me kind of feels like putting in a grocer would at least let this place grow. It is $1,000, so I don't even know if that's necessarily needed. I think we'll just leave White Oak alone. Dijonette is producing a bit of money. And producing a bit of fishing boat, camp, woodcutter, farm. I mean, we have a handful of quarters. Probably an urban center would be the best thing here. That's an armorer. Gristmill and a granary. I mean, let's do that. Get you in here. Building over the dungeon, the guild hall, the kiln, the temple. Or I can convert this to an urban tile as well. Bit of money spent. Grab ourselves a little expedition base. I got a bit of a river here to navigate. So it looks like that's probably it. Peeking my nose into these new territories as we try to explore. Would it make a good fishing town, or fishing town is not listed? Fishing town is not listed. A gradient dust storm has broken down our wall. Wow. Great Wall, not so great if it's getting broken by dust storms. Thank you, please. Fix that up real nice. This town actually could benefit from growing because it's got a handful of other places it could go. Excuse me. A couple times this has happened now. Serta continues to grow. Again, I guess like no specialists. I mean, we could go either way. Let's just go up on that mountain for kicks. I probably want to make all my towns into cities because they once were cities. Schoolhouses are needed pretty much everywhere. Adjacent resources, adjacent wonders, and modern science buildings. I get 14 if I put you up here. I also get 14 down here. Observatory. Let's go here, and then I'll try to build all my science stuff up in this like top right corner. Build over the market. Serta, I'm inclined to make a fort town, given its location. But I'm going to keep it on growing right now. Where are the edges of this town? Does this belong to Serta, or does this belong to other cities? Serta's 22 pop, so honestly, we probably just want to make it. A couple of these would be good to just make proper cities. We'll have to see how the exploitation goes. Sandstorm breaking Great Wall is like, what the heck? I mean, I guess if it's an old wall and a pretty bad sandstorm, I could see it wearing it down over an extended period. We're flooding up in the north. It doesn't look like it broke anything, though. You have Pyramid of the Sun, Matstaba, and Petra here. Currently a university. I think I'm actually going to build here because I can maybe build some more stuff around. Barcelona. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You could grab this tile just so we have it. Take it away from somebody else. Why not? Jinyang is for sure a mining town until it becomes a city. Probably could afford to keep growing, though. It's got room for other stuff. Getting a bit beat up by this dust storm that's moving its way around. I think this is the first time we've actually had a natural disaster kind of work through our territory, so... Woof. No room to build nothing here. This is all natural resources. Coal, oil, fish, cotton, tea, pearls. Foxes? I mean, this has got to be the other continent. It's huge. Can I buy gold tiles with gold like in Civ 6? Sort of. You can only grow 3 tiles away from your city capital. And so you can buy districts which can sort of expand out into that area. So in the early game, if you need to grow specifically in a certain direction, you could decide I'm going to buy a district, place it down there, and it will grab the tiles around it. That's sort of the closest that I would say. Now, Madrid, I have a bunch of places I want to grow. Definitely I want to grow here because I'd love to put the walls in this amazing little choke point. I like the fortifications in this age. They become much different now. They're like baskets full of rocks and then, you know, horse spikes. Corinthos. Let's push you here. Oh. Bukhara. Hello. I want to befriend these guys down here. Bogota. Bukhara would also be a pretty obvious choice. And actually not a bad idea to integrate Bukhara. That would get me this entire corner of our land, which we don't currently have. I'm for sure going to do that next. They've got to be the next focus. Jinyang. Corinthos is a lot of woodcutters. So a mining town would be good here, but I also like this town growing. It has a lot of slots to grow into. Corinthos should probably just become a city. It's only $300 to turn things into cities right now, so choo 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 choo. Yeah, honestly, like you have some of the most land. And for sure have lots of very nice things we can build. That's a wonder, so I don't necessarily want to build it up there. Why don't we kind of go... I guess let's go down here with this guy. Build over the clay pit for right now. I'm a bit low on happiness, so I'm going to take this expedition site. And until we get some factories going, we can't really plug in any other resources. Oh, that's a dead end. Sheesh. All right, we're going all the way down here next. No buy tiles to block a player growth. Again, kind of a little bit in the early ages, but then you are still limited. Can you stop erupting? Repairing this temple isn't free, young man. Okay, Jinyang has actually grown much more than I thought it was. So I'm going to turn it into a city. Way more than I thought it was. That's sort of education over here. So I could build a little bit of maybe some farmland bonuses down this way. Ultimately, I suppose better to just build it together. You can expand, so we could put it in as a specialist, which is kind of the idea that I was thinking. Feels like a shocking lack of specialists right now, specialist slots, but line infantry. My reconciliation with him is over, and he's somehow gone back to hostile. Increase relationship with leaders with the same ideology. Decrease players with different ideologies. I wonder if he hates me because I actually haven't revealed as much of the map as everybody else. Which is definitely possible. Build over the step pyramid here. My university observatory are both down here. I have a library this place though. Let's get rid of the library right now. It's a good couple of spots for a city park we can set up. This says hostile, so can I shoot you? Sure can. 510. We really got to piece out with him ASAP. Chalkis is ready to do some growth. We might as well keep the districts together down here. I'd like it to keep growing. I wish I could build on top of that farm, though. Okay. Volcano continues erupting. +2 happiness on mountains. +6 culture on natural wonders. Ooh, that's actually very good for us. Museum, +1 culture for adjacent natural wonder. If we build this in Athens, this would be incredible.
The beauty of electricity is not that the power is mysterious.
And also
but
electricity.
That it is under law.
So land heritage for sure is useful to us here. I'm going to say let's get rid of Grand Secretariat. I don't know how much science that's going to kill us on, but 2, that was it. Okay, no problem. Scientists say their work environment plays a key role of inspiring their innovation. A collective of researchers petitions for new laboratories near nature, which they say will encourage them. Build a lab with a +3 adjacency. I hope I can do that. +1 science on science buildings, +1 gold on gold buildings. All of that would be very good. But I suppose the reality is like I need to just get towards flight and aerodynamics as quick as possible. So let's go grab the steam engine right away. You're going to grab me modernization. Your mastery of natural history allows you to create the new unit, the Explorer. Once they've conducted research at a university or museum, these highly trained experts may comb the world of artifacts in previous ages. Let's buy one. Your new Explorer is eager to find artifacts from previous ages. Send your Explorer to a university or a museum to undertake the research artifacts. Reveal all the Exploration Age ruins on the continent. Well, that'd be fantastic. This is my big Kilimanjaro natural wonder. Unfortunately, the best spot has been taken with wonder. But that being said, we'll build over the kiln here. and then move right over. 2 out of 3 exploration artifacts. On Panotia. Congo requires research. I wonder if this is saying like I have them or those are available or we know about them. As the bog waters drain, something twisted and black tumbles out. A body! Its hair, clothes, skin, and fingernails have all turned the color of a bog. A victim of murder or an archaeological treasure? Let's continue the story. I want to know where that goes. I could keep shooting guys that are wandering into my territory. I don't know if they're really threatening any of my territory, but they're slowly working their way in. Let's grab this so we have another rural tile. Ooh, though, if we get these fish, it also gives us fish and gives us 5 food, which is kind of crazy. Oh, I'm also realizing we can grow in this direction and cut off Bayou a little bit. Serta can get 6 happiness from a mountain. Serta, I really feel like you probably need to be a city. Probably more than most of the other places here. Sawpit Granary Hospital, Guildhall. Like, it has a bunch of these, like, half-complete locations. Libby, hello. And I really don't need it to grow, and I honestly really don't need it to be a fort town, so I'm going to convert it. We go spend that money, honey. Schoolhouse would suck here. Grocer would be a lot of food. Some locations for a decent city park. Museum kind of takes the same spot. Okay, no, this was just like glitching the first time there. Actually, very good locations for a schoolhouse. There's a couple good science spots up here that we could do right around this wonder, and then all of my science stuff will be right next to each other, which will also be really good because this is where Handan's science stuff is. That'll be excellent. This is the old city of Wasset. I mean, there's good food production tiles. Five production. I feel like this one on the river here is my best bet right away. Just finished the game. It's fun. Nice. You get your win. You get that early dub. Oh, right. I didn't actually build a tile out there. Claim that tile. All right. So you keep growing. I should probably buy some units out in Barcelona and White Oak. And just like some field cannons that can shoot at anything that comes by. Or ships. I'm assuming I'm allowed to park ships. Causing lots of chaos this fine weekend. I nuked Prussia 3 times and a random settler by accident. Oh my god. The nuclear option. This continent's exploration age must be researched at a university or museum. Ah, okay, so I'm building the museum, but it's still going to take a while to actually build. Is university modern tech? I feel like certain that university was made in the last section. Would have been Chang'an that would have had it. They do have a university right there. These are both universities. Five turns. Well, you might as well just stay right there. Gee whiz. Okay. Well, no, we might as well move. We got like one turn ahead of it, so. Lafayette setting up some trade routes. We can start befriending Bukhara here. You can go back to napping. Legit got a culture win yesterday without realizing I was as close as you were. Nice. I mean, I'm hoping we can get our science win. Hard to say. Ashoka is pulling ahead of us in science. My culture is the best in the world. I'm assuming because we took Beijing. I actually really wasn't expecting that. Wow, we're doing way better on most stats than I thought we were. I guess it helps that we have a ton of cities. Charlemagne also has a ton of cities, but he's only really producing happiness, so. She wants to denounce me. Unfortunately, I can't reject it. All right. That's how you want to be. Wasn't really my plan. She doesn't really have settlements down here, so you know what? I could actually bring up the offensive army here as well. If she's going to denounce me, I'm assuming it means she's going to try to go to war with me, so. I would like to prep a little for the inevitability. We do have 3 cities that were capitals. I mean, that is true. Well, she just gave us Wasit. I mean, it's not like we even had to really fight for that one. I think you can probably go here. I don't love a field cannon being on the front, but it is what it is. Emissaries from Bogota have arrived and pronounced the Qing Empire deserves all glory and respect. They present 500 science.
Soon shall thy arm, unconquered steam, afar drag the slow barge or drive the rapid car.
Great. Ironworks. No, still no factory. I don't know where factories come in. grab urbanization next. Wasset here is mostly about money, so a stock exchange would be the most important. Bonuses to rivers, adjacent wonders, and quarters. I never realized this either, but walls actually take a district slot, which is kind of brutal. You may now construct a port. Settlement separated by water will be able to create a rail connection if each settlement has a rail station and a port. Well, you make a good argument for that. I kind of like the idea of just having these 3 docks here at Jinyang. Even though it probably is much better for me to stack them. We're not in good enough with each other. I'm going to form a research collab with him. He accepts, which gives me a slight advantage over him now. Because he didn't support it. Xerxes. Down here. Culture wins by accident were very common in Civ 6 on the lower difficulties. Yeah, I used to always get religious wins in Civ 6, just totally by accident. Also, I've noticed we can no longer build missionaries. I've also noticed that religion is no longer a tab. Which is a bit like, oh, okay. Sure, I guess. This city's got 31 happiness. I guess I'm trying to grow it right now, so we'll build some more farms. Corinthos is sort of a production place. It does need some happiness. So I tell you what, I'm going to build a city park down here next to all these wonders. Matara of the Bugada Empire is overflowing with valuable commodities and 8 resources. And we can actually build traders now as well. I guess the Hang Shang. Nerd, hello. Welcome on in, dudes. Come on in. How was your stream? How are you enjoying the Civ? I saw you were rocking a little bit of it earlier. I hope it's been a good time for you. We are in the modern era. We have just kind of recently started. And it's been a lot of fun. We built a massive Great Wall that spanned across most of our empire. We had to kind of make a bit of a hole here for a city, but it links up to mostly mountains. And we have a really nice sort of defensive formation at the moment as we're working our way across. We're trying to sort of hunker down and go for a science victory at the moment, which is so far been going pretty well. No, because you still can't build any of the stuff I want, but whatever. We recently just got denounced. So I am prepping for what I'm assuming is going to be an inevitable war on my side borders here. That should be tons of fun. Gusa, Gusa, Gusa. Wow, I've actually managed to completely fortify this entire border right now. I am very pleased with that. It's a nice wall. We made Spain pay for it. Quite literally. We stole the Spanish capital, and then we renamed it Beijing. Worked out pretty well in our favor. Did he make Krung Tep pay for it? No, we made Isabella. Close. I guess this army commander could probably move here for good measure. My explorer is finally ready to research artifacts. They've concluded their research in all exploration age ruins on the continent are now visible. Ruins are especially likely to appear on wet and vegetated terrain away from roads and settlements. Okay, so nowhere. Your explorer may move to these sites and begin excavating artifacts to enshrine in a museum. There's a single artifact. Oh, there's one over here as well, actually, near White Oak. There must be another one somewhere. Maybe we just have to do more research. I hope we get some goodies. Learn a little bit. We're getting some nice trade routes get started up. Barcelona has grown. It's a little bit of room to expand this way, but not much. That's all kind of cut off. 1, 2, 3. This is all kind of cut off. So I guess for now, let's just grab this exploration site. Get that happiness and that production. And we're going to take the 20% science for 10 turns as we open up another social policy. We are getting a lot of celebrations right now. Part of me wonders about taking humanism, seeing as we are first in culture. But I also think about Baugia. That was 76 science I just increased by. Now, mind you, we did get that 10% buff, but still. That ain't no small amount of science. I love how this was a money town, and I'm like, oh, it's making -10 money. Well, I don't know what this town is. I guess food was what this town was for the longest time. It could build its port down here. I feel like maybe that's not a terrible choice. Barcelona's, you're just going to keep vibing. Pretty much the only thing I could possibly be here is a factory town, but I don't think I can build anything. I guess if I got a factory and I built it in the capital, maybe it could do something. But that'd be about it. We're going to keep this wild set of fortifications. And if they do decide to go to war, we're going to absolutely steamroll them, I think. We have even more artillery starting to show up here. As we zoom our way along, try to explore this coastline a little bit more. I'd probably be better off breaking out all these fleets and just letting them explore in every direction, but
in the Enlightenment, what does not add up in numbers becomes illusion.
25% gold and happiness towards maintaining buildings. Production towards the overbuilding. I don't know. I think I'm okay with this. A pair of ancient golden horns are stolen under cover of night. When the thief is eventually arrested, the people learn the priceless relics have been melted down by an overzealous goldsmith and grieve their loss. Create reproductions or honor the loss in a memorial exhibit. Let's honor the loss in a memorial exhibit. From art comes new art. And the body found in the bog is put under display under glass, but disparate groups fight to claim it. The Historical Society sees the body as a collective ancestor to be honored, while forensic scientists consider it a priceless dissection opportunity. An artifact or +3 science on museums. I gotta take the science on museums. Though that's a hard buy. Beijing has both room to grow and also room to place a lot of specialists. It does seem like a lot of my specialists from previous ages have been removed, if not all of my previous specialists. All of these tiles also give me science, happiness, production. Ultimately, I think the building up everything is better than building up just something like science, especially in my culture city. These guys are ready to grow as well. Happiness is a bit bad here. We'll build that farm in the corner. I've always wanted to build a wonder there, but we've never been able to. We move into political theory. Social policy slots, ideological trees. Beijing. Like, I do have wonders that I could build, and they're not that bad. Grants 2 free technologies and 1 wildcard attribute. Yeah, that would be pretty good for a science-based victory. That's a park. This would actually boost that park as well if I built that up here. And I could build some other stuff that scale off of wonders. I'm gonna do it. Just what this city needs is more wonders. You've been wondering what they're doing down here in Beijing. Building a endless amount of wonders is the answer. And I guess I'm going to drop one of these guys here in Dijonette. And you know what? I guess let's just move the other one here. Lafayette, you have too many boats. Ashoka, please open your borders. I wish to explore the ocean. And you are currently standing in my way. Making life difficult. Amina has sparked a diplomatic incident by revealing espionage to steal government secrets. She's stealing civics from me. I should probably do counter spies on her. Handan has grown a bit more here. The specialists are good. Production in this city is particularly bad. So I'm actually going to grab one production spot instead. Ah, god dang it. I pushed the wrong button. I don't know what it is about deploy and don't deploy. This is Bukhara. We are befriending these guys, but I guess it's going to take us a while. So we're going to have to shoot their units in the meantime. As we sail along the shores to greener pastures. Bit of flooding over here, but nothing too serious. Perfect. Exactly how I wanted that to deploy. Poetic phrases. 2 glimpses from ancient days glimmer in the new era, the poet writes. His words are a literary stand-in for a pair of golden horns lost to theft, celebrating the eternal presence of those marvels that spoke across the ages. +1 cultural attribute points. Our first, I love how we're the head of culture, and that's our first cultural point. 1 culture per age on palace and city halls. Absurd. I can claim the volcano. Ooh, that's sort of fun. If I claim the volcano, will it stop volcanoing at me? Probably not. This city is really bad on happiness, so actually taking one of these mountains would be wise. Take away from these guys. Madrid, I'm just going to let you keep growing. You're going to dig up a great work that can be displayed in a museum. I guess it's probably going to take a couple of turns. You can keep shooting that line infantry. I'm going to start spreading out my boats. Because I now have different directions I want to start sending them in to explore. Find a spot with that lab for the +3 bonus. Honestly, I don't even think we've built a lab yet. Yeah, everything is so many turns. We're still trying to build the schoolhouse, which was like the first thing we researched. Huge trade route here. Picking up a lot of good stuff. Most of all, silks for Beijing. 95 here. Okay, Wasset City has got -8 to happiness, so they're going to get an elephant. And my old capital, Chang'an. I was going to give them the whales, but taking out those horses probably isn't the smart choice. Jin Yang is sort of a production monster. Maybe we give them the whales for now. Need more red so it goes faster. Come to the modern age. Suddenly no one was happy. Happened to another streamer. Lost tons of trade routes. I mean, all of our trade routes collapsed. But I think that just happens. Also. So speaking of... Yeah, I can trade with Karuna. Out of 1. I would like to get a couple more good trade routes going. Some good stuff here in Necken. And then, I guess... Gotti says double pig, gold, double oil. Food. It's not bad. Rouen. I'm also just trying to think, like, where are the closer trade routes? I don't know where Rouen is. Maybe here? Oh, no, here it is. The foxes add happiness. And this is Niter. Ooh. Okay. I would like that. I would like that. And then, yeah, I guess Necken. So let's get a trade route over here as well. I say as I'm also like creating a massive army to go to war with her. She's sailing all these military armies around, and this has got me a little bit nervous. I'm like, what is she doing? These line infantry are really tougher than they ought to be. Maybe I need a few more troops over there. Laboratory. Hopefully that counts for a +3 adjacency. Fortify, fortify, fortify. Explore. Spain is still sending out more and more settlers. Which, I mean, makes sense. We did kind of take all their own provinces. Seems like it's only +2. I mean, I guess the other thing is like as I build up other things around the laboratory, the adjacency will increase.
The face of a city changes faster than a human heart.
So white oak grows. I should grow here just to cut off this city. Jinyang grows. Bad happiness. I'd like to add in specialists here, but not at the current happiness rate. So I guess I'm building more boats. Choose a city-state bonus. We are suzerain of Bogota. The construction of the Institute Unique Improvement provides +5 science, +2 science on adjacent wet and vegetated terrain. Cannot be adjacent to another institute. Receive a free technology when you become suzerain of a city-state, including this one. That would be 2 free techs. I'm actually going to take that.
Soon shall thy arm, unconquered steam.
And then... I could take another tech group down here, suzerain these guys. And then in 2 turns, I could suzerain one of these economic groups. An independent ambassador presented the emperor with a gift. Upon opening it, they realized it was a piece of sophisticated technology unlike anything we've seen before. The emperor weighed his options. Science. Science is the option. Always. Modern bridges. Radio. Or I guess probably let's go military into combustion into flight, seeing as that is my first thing. I don't think there are any drops for Civ. If there are, I don't know of them. You guys can keep growing. So you're just going to kind of come out this way. This way. You can go up that river. And we'll keep cruising along here. Sometimes no surer sign of human civilization than a land soaked with blood. This axe confirms the explorer's suspicion. Whatever the conflict, the Spanish soldiers of the exploration age were here, whether victors or not. They were not victors. Let me tell you that right now. I can tell you that without a doubt. Those boys did not succeed in victory. I need 3 of these explorers. Can I make another one? Can I purchase another one? Correct. Yes. So I'm going to have him go study and try to find the other artifact. Lafayette is stealing government secrets against us. These guys are friendly with us immediately. I love that. We have an axe, which is giving me +4 culture in Beijing. That's incredible. Scholarly network seems nice. Aerodynamics, the last tech. The last tech, I guess, is future tech. So, do I feel the game gets too much harsh critique? Yeah, absolutely. Well, like, without a doubt. I think it's got a lot of problems. Don't get me wrong. And, like, there's a lot of stuff I'm critical of the game. But I think that, like, it opened to, like, a 30% rating on Steam on opening day. And I was just like, that's not true. Like, the game is much better than a 30%. I think it's just that people are, like, upset about the price, for one, and the level of polish. There are, like, the things that people are upset about are really stupid things that shouldn't be in a game this, like, far along, is how I feel about it. I can get this tile? That's really funny. Boop, 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 boop. I'm gonna get this guy. I know it's not as good. No, actually, I am gonna get this tile because I need happiness here. I wish I could get those horses. Just out of range. So Chang'an needs a really good library. Needs a really good laboratory. Let's build over the inn. And see how that one holds up. Jin Yang up here. I'd love an ageless ironworks. I'm gonna build over that mine. I feel like it's about time we do that, so. Okay, the port here is a pretty good specialist spot. But, wow, my happiness sucks butts. She real bad. Not good at all. Serta was a barbarian village not too long ago. Serta was originally... Yeah, it was an independent village, and then we took it over, and then it flipped to Ibn Battuta, and then we took it back. It's gone through a couple different variations. Ooh, no, cancel. I just wanted to poke my nose in. Cruising across the map here with these boats. This is good. So this is clearly the other main continent. Kind of looks like maybe we had a bigger continent, but I'm not certain. I mean, we had 5 players on ours and they only had 3, so that would track a little bit. Trade route. Giving us access to that pipe and that wine. La Pipe. I'm going to put La Pipe in Handan. Because the production there is really bad. And food and production. I guess I'll build that in Wasset. Who again also has really bad happiness, so. Save the game right before the end of the game, it crashes. I mean, the game saves every turn. The autosave is every one turn, up to 10 autosaves, so. You know? Seen a few C-class bugs, one A-class bug, that was the end of the game. Yeah, we had one crash. I think when we switched from the first era into the exploration era, the game crashed, but that's the only time I've crashed. And that was also after, like, playing for 7 hours straight. Rip that $60 Band-Aid off eventually. I mean, I think people are upset about like the $140 early access Band-Aid. Which again, I'm not knocking people on. I think it's a legit complaint. I mean, I'm still growing this town. Let's just keep going on food. Chalkus can just food it up. I'm happy to let them be bigger. Corinthos. You guys just built a park. I mean, schoolhouses are really good for us. If I built one here and built a lab in here, can I build a lab right away? Let's try it. I don't really want to spend this crazy money. Though I am also like, this temple is not really getting me much. +3 happiness. I have 30 happiness in the settlement. Trade it out for an ageless building. You can go back to snoozing. These ships can keep going up this way. I'm just going to send all these ships across in a straight line now. This guy is suddenly a lot less mad at me, I guess because I started exploring the map. Charlemagne is upset again. He is hostile to me, friendly with them, helpful to Isabella. I don't really want to deal with Isabella anymore. I mean, I guess like I could take these settlements from her, but I just don't really want to. Ooh. I didn't notice this little guy up here. 1, 2, 3. I could get some extra oil if I took him over. The other option is taking something over like Lisbon. But to be honest, I kind of like the idea of this guy. Let's befriend him. I'm not like threatened by the computer at this point. I have really good choke points. I have really good defensive setups. My army commanders are extremely strong. Exploration sites have already been researched for this continent. Complete the hegemony civic to unlock research of antiquity. So where's the other artifact then? I mean, I guess let's just go down and rob stuff. Okay, everybody is spying on me and stealing all my stuff. Have to buy the PC first. I'm safe. Got Civ 6 for $4. Hardly even tried it. Oh, well, Civ 6 is also fantastic, so... I think Civ 6 is fantastic. Obviously, it depends on who you listen to, but...
Keep him in the dark about your intentions.
Defensive fortifications. The Red Fort. I'd like the Red Fort to be like right here. Which does mean I need to convert Madrid to a city. Let's do that. Let's do that. Yeah, I can actually build it right here. How many turns is that going to take? 15 turns? $50 to the tile in all city centers. I mean, I really like the idea of that because it's a perfect choke point. Madrid gets to grow a little bit. Well, it does feel like adding a bunch of production would be valuable. So why don't we stack a mine in here right now? We have more tech. We're going to go for combustion. A lot of naval stuff starting to open up. Ooh. I'm getting hurricaned. Real bad. There is more silk for Beijing. 105 culture. Just in this city alone. Disgusting. You can actually probably go down. I think that guy is going to discover everything else. We do a little zigzag. Ashoka has changed from friendly to neutral. Well, everybody stopped spying on me. Literally every single computer player is spying on me right now. I think I need to start running counterintelligence.
The one who adapts his policy to his times prospers.
Completion of a political theory has given rise to various political ideologies. You now have the opportunity to choose one of 3 exclusive cultural paths for your civilization. Democracy, fascism, communism. Civic tree of each ideology unlocks unique social policies, but more importantly, aligning yourself with a particular ideology can determine who will be your allies and enemies. First adopters of an ideology receive 2 social policy slots. Second adopters receive 1. Where do I get to decide? Democracy, happiness, culture, liberalism, -5 science, progressivism, fascism gives us production and gold, -5 culture, communism gives us science and food. Well, I guess we are China. Communism it is. We're going to adopt that probably before anybody else. Science and food, yeah. I mean, I guess they have to balance it all out, so you could make it go any number of different ways. My happiness in this town really sucks, so either a department store or a city park. Would be really nice. I could actually build them both down here and they'd scale pretty well off each other. Build over the monument here, probably to start, +8 happiness. Oh, maybe he does need to be actually up 1. Dunk out that other ship. Just cruise all these guys across the ocean. Why not? Certainly not culture and production. If you would have chosen fascism, I would have asked for a sub refund. Certainly not this one. You've begun researching on communism and are now a permanent member of that ideology. Your relationship with other leaders will increase if they follow your ideology and decrease if they don't. Your agenda is ideologies. You like people who are at war. Endeavor, shared government, previous age. I need to probably drop a counter spy on you. Because he's the most likely to beat me on tech. I suppose it's possible that Xerxes could be going for an economic victory. This is Wasset. I'm going to take this happiness mountain. Nice. We were the first one to say communism, yes. So we got 2 social policy slots. So we can grab free speech for extra happiness and food. And honestly, production towards overbuilding might not be a bad choice here for now. Because there's a lot of overbuilding we're going to have to start doing. Okay, these guys are going to go peaceful with us in a turn. There's a couple suzerainings we could do. 1 and 2. So you guys need to fly like that. You could actually fly in that formation, which does mean that this guy can fly in this formation. So they're all properly spread out. I'm going to keep you just going up the coastline for now. We can zigzag afterwards. Matara has lost access to silk. Oh, they had flooding. Communist regime with free speech. There's some kind of fantasy game. We could have free speech communism. Bukhara is now friendly with us. And we have silk again. Boats go vroom vroom. Field cannon goes nappy time. You're going to build me this trade route in Rouen, which is going to give me foxes. In Jinyang. So much. Dude, the moment we get factories, it's going to be bananas. It's going to be a banana factory. Oh, I keep forgetting that I actually can sail into this guy's waters. I probably should actually explore this area a bit more. Karuna lost access to silk. Flooded. Ashoka's gone back to being friendly. Okay, okie dokie. You're going to dig up an artifact. Lafayette has completed a milestone for Geographic Society. I'm assuming that's cultural. Yes. I love how economic is like a million little ticks here. Charlemagne is no longer hostile with us. Never mind. Spying on me. Again. Olo Illy has arrived to pronounce that the Qing Empire deserves all glory and respect. Is giving me 500 science. Jin Yang, you're making me like pretty good money up here. Your happiness is okay. It's so-so. I wouldn't mind buffing it a bit more. This is a science-based place, and nobody is sovereigning it. Sovereigning it. So I'm going to swoop in there and steal it. Can I go here? Yes, I have open borders with these guys. So we'll do a bit more exploration. You have free speech to a certain extent. Do not talk about party politics. Do not critique the regime. As long as your speech is saying how much you love communism, we're fine with it.
I wonder anybody does anything at Oxford but dream and remember.
Is this my first wonder? I think it is. 1794. Get that sparkle. Give me those screenshots.
So readily do people adapt themselves. And was Jerusalem builded here? Among these
rail
tectonic
stations.
mills?
Tier 2 Goosas. Howitzers. When built, upgrades any roads to settlements that have a rail station into railroads. Railroads allow units to move from one settlement with a rail station to another. Modern gold building. Occupies a full tile and cannot be paired with other buildings. Can be purchased in towns.
The face of a city changes faster than a human heart.
Urbanization gave me modern bridges. Damn, dudes. That was great. Let's grab flight. I like that they gave me mastery here. I wasn't expecting that. Only 4,000 years to get it. On the production line, a worker notices a colleague in a uniform completing task after task in the same way. Automation promises to make life easier, but also to change the relationship to work. +3 production to factories, or +3 happiness to factories. I'll take the production. Also, I'm sorry, do I have a factory now? Can I make factories now? Rail stations, yes. Cannery factory. Kind of feel like I should get that before flight, but we'll be okay. We can greedily do it all. Boy, none of this really looks like it matters anymore, so we'll just grab some fishing boats. Chalkis is going to grab this Big Daddy production up here. You may now construct a rail station. 2 settlements with rail stations connected by lands create a railroad between them. A settlement must have a rail station before it can have a factory. Well, you certainly settle me some problems then. I guess let's build it like right here. Or actually, let's build it right here. And then somehow I didn't realize I have coffee over here. So let's grab this. Serta, you may also build a rail station. I'm going to put it right on the front lines. And then I'm going to move that farm. That farm's going to become a specialist, it looks like. So let's plop you into one of these science buildings. My fishing boats have blown up here. We must have had some sort of a flood. Room for more railway stations. Let's, I guess, go. This has been where my money stuff is down here. So I feel like let's go over that farm. And then I'm going to grab this extra production instead. Barcelona no longer really needs to grow. Here's the problem. I can't build factories over here, so there's no point in making this into a factory town. That's a plantation. That's an oil rig. That's a plantation. These are both fishing boats. That's a mine. I guess fishing town? And then I'm not going to worry about this grown out anymore. Silent Death, thank you for the follow, dude. Welcome to the agency. Just growing it to max boats. So I just noticed also, because I was saying earlier there wasn't fishing towns. Fishing town and farming town. It looks like it swaps what they are depending on what city they're in. You can't build a railway station, so you're just going to keep growing. Hey, we circumnavigated the globe, baby. Look at us go. Consider this globe circumnavigated. Bada bing. Gabagoo. Took us a little bit. We certainly didn't do much exploration in the age of exploration, that's for sure. These guys just settled a little town over here. Keep having them cruise. I think then I'll just make you probably come up here. Ivan Batuta is denouncing me. I'd really prefer if he didn't do that. Not that I care, but I'm not aggressive with him right now, so... I have enough to suzerain another city-state. The thing is if I get all these places suzerain, then I can just spend all my influence on doing counter spies. You should definitely be building a rail station here. It's a great question as to where it should go. Why not right on that farm? And then I guess we'll take this 7-point farm down here. Factories galore. You're going to come up this way. So you can also probably come up. Let's actually go like this way with him. And I'll keep creeping up the coast with you. Appa River has flooded. Another civ settled. Lisbon is friendly with us. Fantastic. Archaeologists have discovered a site from the Exploration Age. Careful excavation, they unearth a Shawnee drum from Lafayette. Great. +4 culture. I'll take it. Now, I had an explorer going to look for something down here. He might already be on it. I'm wondering if I go into... We've already researched for this continent. Can I come over to, say, Karuna and send my explorer in here to discover other continents? I still don't have a lab with a +3 adjacency.
Workers of the world unite. You have nothing to lose but your chains.
Communism. Communism. 1 expansion, 1 scientific, 3 ranged units. Food and science, but we lose a bit of happiness and we lose a bit of gold. Three science from specialists. And we get +1 science from specialists. So all specialists are now giving us 4 science. Plus, I think Confucius gets a +2 science on specialists. +2 science from specialists. Mm, 10 growth rate in cities, 1 food per age. Let's go 10 growth rate in all cities. The scientific age, I think we'll probably just get... Well, I suppose 10% science for every alliance we have is better than 5% repeatable. And I have a wildcard point here as well, so... Mm, 50% influence towards initiating and progressing a befriend independent action. Wow. So all those would have cost me like 250 influence instead of 500 maybe. +3% towards all yields for every alliance you have. That's crazy. Honestly, 5% total science. Democracy lies at the heart of any true socialism. Have 125 pop across all settlements within 20 turns. I think I instantly completed that. Democracy is indispensable to the working class because only through the exercise of democratic rights can the proletariat become aware of its class interests. 1 points towards the ideology legacy path. The ideology legacy path? No. I will take more science, thank you. Nestled near lush vegetation and the humming of birds, a new lab quickly becomes the popular research site for motivated scientists, +3 science on laboratory. That completed, excellent. The +3 adjacency bonus. White oak continues to grow. I want to get this land province. I think it's about time they got that. Unfortunately, I don't believe I can build in it. But I can build a port. I recognize that that's better gold, but I'm pretty sure if I build a port here, I can build something else over here. Eventually. Guess we'll just grab that. Centralism. Towns gain food, happiness to your expansion attribute. Towns gain science equal to your scientific attribute. That's huge. That's huge. We have so many points in science. It's an absurd how many points we have in science. I have everything on this tree except for the legend unlock because I don't know how to get it. It's a celebration, 20% science. Another social policy. You know what? Let's go +1 science influence on science buildings. +5 influence. Actually not that good, but I suppose we'll give it a shot. Everybody needs a rail station. This is something I have decided pretty strongly on. It might as well go there. Oh, we're going to have so many factories. All of my troops need to be upgraded. I was given 3 field guns. All right, we might as well start over here. This is such an expensive way to handle my army. But also guarantees that no one's going to mess with me. Imagine if I had a policy that was like, it makes this cheaper. I'm pretty sure I just dropped 3K. In fact, I am almost certain I did. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move all these guys over to Serta. This explorer was going for an artifact, but it looks like maybe Amina took it. Yeah, I need the hegemony civic. To unlock the next age of artifacts. Yeah, okay, so this is like how many are available still. Interesting. Well, the more we know. Slash can keep sailing along. Ever exploring. Lafayette named after Marquis de Lafayette. You know, Lafayette, the famous leader of the American civilization. I know he's French, traditionally, but I don't really know a lot about him. Serta grows into a specialist. Chang'an grows into any number of things. I guess let's grab this last land tile. Jingyan grows. And you know what? We might as well grab this last food tile as well. Then you have nowhere else to grow. You're only specialists from now on. Quinine. Units heal plus 1 HP. I love the idea that the different things you have change during every era. It makes for a bit of a confusing first game, but it certainly makes me thinking about how to plan things out moving forward. This is almost done. 5 more turns and we'll have this fort. You're gonna go just up around here. Cut me off. You cut me off, you son of a submariner. Do I want to waste the influence opening those borders? I don't know. Maybe. Probably not. I can just wait and eventually add him back to the army, and that's probably what I'm going to do. Related to them distantly, the single person most American cities are named after. He was the general the French sent to help the Americans in the War of Independence. Many at the time to this day credit him with providing the American the strategic and military knowledge that tipped the war in favor for the rebellion. Ah. Well, the more we know. Emissaries of Bukhara have arrived with a generous gift of 1,000 gold. Thank you, Bukhara. Wow, the happiness in this city is absolutely gone out of wild control. There's a +4 culture over here. This is kind of my culture capital. Though I'm also just like, well, we should probably just finish building the last couple of things. Get those last urban districts, rural districts. And everything gets to grow. Uh-oh. I don't want to go to war with Isabella. Why are we always going to war with Isabella? I'll do it.
Vos solamente facéis mártires.
I don't know if other people are going to join her because of alliances. She's allied to Ibn Battuta. Interesting. I'm going to drop a reconciliation with Charlemagne. And you guys are going to need a railway. So let's just kind of barf it in right here. And then I'd like to minimize the unhappiness loss. Wonder if the AI personality is more influenced by the leader or the nation, like in Civ 6, the leader agenda for a random one per AI. It's a good question, honestly. I know that specific leaders are more inclined to go certain cultures. Like I've actually done sort of the traditional route for Confucius and going up to Qing. But I ain't sure how much it really affects. Wow, is my commander so far away that I cannot use this ability? I think that might actually be the case. So, I mean, I have an opportunity here to take Zaragoza and to take Cadiz. which would secure these islands. The obvious problem is I don't have any armies. But what I do have is an insane amount of money. Modern naval unit. Heavy naval unit. Can I also buy a fleet commander? No. Can make one in like 10 turns up here. Just gonna make a couple of dreadnoughts, and then I'll make a fleet commander and a dreadnought, and then probably move them all together in the same army. And hopefully that'll be enough to deal with Isabella. I'm a little bit worried because like Barcelona, for example, doesn't have any defensive units at the moment. Neither does White Oak. Howitzers, that's not what I'm looking for. So we might be another turn off on that. Wafu, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the agency. All right, here's going to be the big question is, do I get massive war decks hit me? And hopefully not. And thank you for the sub, my dude. Welcome on in. Dropping the primer like it's hot. Much appreciated. I hope you are excited for the Civ. All right, what do we got? War. Well, that was fast. That didn't take long. And Charlemagne declared war. So she wasn't allied with any of them, but they just decided, I guess because they've been at so many wars with me in the past, that they're just going to all get dragged in. Complete for a squadron commander and 1 legacy point. Transoceanic flight. Complete the project, the first milestone. Okay. I want to not be in 4 wars, is what I would prefer. The advent of human flight is taking conflict to the sky. Air units are incredibly powerful weapons of war, allowing the attacker to strike targets on the ground and bombard cities from great distances. Bombers hit cities, attackers do land and naval, and fighters attack other air units. I've noticed this guy has become hurt. So I'm actually going to form an alliance with him. And now we have a 3-way alliance. I need to build field gun here. Especially because these guys have come out of nowhere with a bunch of troops. Oh my goodness. Such chaos. Charlemagne left-handed. They fly now. They fly now. Oi, oi, oi. Now, I guess let's district up there. Corinthos can grab its last slot. Olo Ihi has also boosted with us. Science buildings receive 1 science for every city-state you're suzerain in, or 5% science, which is 5 science for every city-state I'm suzerain of, which is actually quite a lot. I could boost my science here by like 1, 2, 3, 4, 20%.
So readily do people adapt themselves to the marvelous contrivances which
Combustion. Where was combustion? Oh, I just got combustion mastery for free. Why, you might ask? Great question. Beats me. Ooh, man. All right. So here's the good news. I'm positive in almost all of these wars, except for the one with Charlemagne. So let's support ourselves there. We have no war weariness this way. This homie, I just want exploring. He is, after all, an explorer. Hey, there's Washington, D.C. 5% is like 25. It should be a pretty solid chunk for us. What hit you? This boat? Oh, all my trade routes. All of my trade routes would have just gotten buckled. Also, I've realized something, which is that these Gusa, they don't have... while they have guns, they don't have the guns like our last era had. So I can't just shoot wildly forward. That being said, Christ. These guys have like a lot of defense. One of my biggest issues here right now is that I don't have any siege equipment as well. So if I want to try to take these cities, they're actually going to be pretty much a nightmare for us to take. That being said, a lot of my railways are en route. Your railway is not. I actually couldn't shoot that guy, which is a bit of a pain. Oh, I guess you could move here and then you could shoot him though. And then I could give you another shot and we could shoot him again. I mean, that's got to be worth something. Nothing quite like just getting into so many wars that we didn't want. And while I feel prepared for some of them, others are a real pain. Like, for example, all these random troops on my border over here. Which, thankfully, I have things like these dreadnoughts to help deal with, but... like, ideally, all of these ships of the line, I want to actually pull back into my armies. Because if I could upgrade them all. That guy's actually zone of controlling me there. Yeah, I feel like there's probably a pretty good chance I end up losing most of or all of these ships. This naval commander is going to have to sneak along. So we're going to do that. The good news is that my other guys should also be dragged into all of these wars. Minus 95 gold. How did that happen? Okay, so if we move in here quickly, I could potentially just control the entire northern section of the continent. This is very secure. And these guys will be very secure. Once they finished moving over here. I mean, especially with the Great Wall. I have to worry a little bit that like something could come up through Wasset on the south side, but it's not super likely. Naval invasions are probably my biggest fear. And I don't know how places like Barcelona and White Oak are going to do. Hopefully very well. But you never know. I think with the breakout of this massive four-way, really the First World War, the only one who is not participating right now is Xerxes. But the beginning of this massive world war, I think is the perfect place for us to cut this video. So let's do exactly that. Save it right here, 40 turns in. And when we come back, the Great War will begin, and we'll increase ourselves up to this 13 out of 17. Is going to rapidly start climbing up towards 17. So thank you for joining us. We'll see you back here on the next video.